In this podcast episode, Kipp Davis, a renowned expert on the Dead Sea Scrolls, shares his insights into the historical significance of these ancient texts and their implications for understanding the Bible and religion. The conversation delves into various topics, including the origins of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the complexities of biblical translation, and the evolution of religious thought. Davis begins by recounting the remarkable discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1946. A group of shepherd boys stumbled upon these ancient manuscripts in caves along the western shore of the Dead Sea while searching for a lost sheep. The initial find led to the unearthing of numerous scrolls, which were later identified as some of the oldest biblical texts known to humanity. Davis emphasizes the significance of this discovery, as it pushed back the timeline of biblical manuscripts by nearly 1,000 years, revealing a wealth of information about early Jewish thought and practice. The scrolls were eventually brought to the attention of scholars, including Eliezer Sukenik, who recognized their historical value. Sukenik's efforts to acquire the manuscripts culminated in a dramatic moment when he purchased them on the same day the United Nations voted for the establishment of the State of Israel. This intertwining of history and politics adds another layer of complexity to the narrative surrounding the Dead Sea Scrolls, as they became symbols of cultural and national identity for the Jewish people. Davis explains that the Dead Sea Scrolls consist of a diverse collection of texts, including biblical manuscripts, sectarian writings, and legal documents. Among the most notable finds are copies of the Book of Isaiah, which are considered some of the earliest biblical manuscripts. The scrolls also contain texts that reflect the beliefs and practices of a Jewish sect, likely the Essenes, who lived in the region during the Second Temple period. This diversity of content provides scholars with invaluable insights into the religious landscape of ancient Judaism. One of the most intriguing aspects of the scrolls is their preservation. Many of the manuscripts were stored in jars, which helped protect them from the harsh desert environment. Davis notes that the scrolls were written on various materials, including parchment and papyrus, and that the writing styles and languages used in the texts reflect the cultural and historical context of their time. The presence of multiple copies of the same text, often with variations, raises questions about the transmission and interpretation of these ancient writings. The discussion shifts to the topic of forgery in the context of ancient manuscripts. Davis highlights the existence of forged texts that have emerged in the antiquities market, including some that were falsely attributed to the Dead Sea Scrolls. He recounts his own experience working with a private collection of purported Dead Sea Scrolls fragments, which were later determined to be forgeries. This experience underscores the challenges scholars face in distinguishing authentic artifacts from fraudulent ones, particularly in a market driven by profit. Davis explains that the forgeries often exhibit telltale signs, such as anachronistic materials or writing styles that do not align with the historical context of the original scrolls. The presence of these forgeries complicates the study of ancient texts and raises ethical questions about the acquisition and sale of antiquities. Scholars must navigate a landscape where genuine artifacts are often intertwined with fakes, making it essential to employ rigorous methods of analysis to verify authenticity. The Dead Sea Scrolls have had a profound impact on biblical scholarship, challenging long-held assumptions about the origins and development of the Hebrew Bible. Davis explains that the scrolls contain multiple versions of biblical texts, some of which differ significantly from the Masoretic text, the authoritative Hebrew text of the Bible used by Jews today. This raises important questions about the process of textual transmission and the ways in which religious texts were edited and adapted over time. One of the most significant implications of the scrolls is their potential to illuminate the historical context in which the biblical texts were written. By examining the variations in the scrolls, scholars can gain insights into the beliefs and practices of ancient Jewish communities. Davis emphasizes that the scrolls provide a window into the religious landscape of the Second Temple period, revealing the diversity of thought and practice that existed within Judaism at the time. Davis delves into the complexities of translating ancient texts, particularly the relationship between the Hebrew Bible and the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew Scriptures. He explains that the Septuagint often reflects a different textual tradition than the Hebrew Bible, leading to variations in wording and meaning. This raises questions about the original language of the biblical texts and the implications for understanding their content. The discussion highlights the challenges translators face when working with languages that have different grammatical structures and cultural contexts. Davis notes that the Greek language, with its rich vocabulary and nuanced expressions, can sometimes convey meanings that are difficult to capture in Hebrew. This complexity complicates the task of determining which version of a text is more authoritative or original, as both languages offer unique insights into the meaning of the Scriptures. As the conversation progresses, Davis reflects on his own journey from faith to skepticism. He shares how his academic studies led him to question the traditional narratives surrounding the Bible and its origins. This evolution in his thinking is not uncommon among scholars who engage deeply with ancient texts, as the historical and cultural contexts often reveal a more complex picture of religious belief and practice. Davis emphasizes that the biblical texts were written by human authors who were influenced by their cultural and historical circumstances. This realization challenges the notion of divine authorship and raises questions about the reliability of the texts as sources of absolute truth. For Davis, this shift in perspective has been liberating, allowing him to appreciate the richness of the texts without being bound by dogmatic interpretations. The podcast also touches on the intricate relationship between religion and politics, particularly in the context of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Davis explains that the scrolls were discovered during a time of significant political upheaval in the region, and their content reflects the concerns and aspirations of the Jewish community in the face of foreign domination. The scrolls serve as a testament to the ways in which religious beliefs were intertwined with political identity. Davis notes that the scrolls contain texts that express a longing for a messianic figure who would restore Israel and bring about divine justice. This theme resonates with the broader historical context of Jewish resistance to foreign rule and the desire for autonomy. The scrolls thus provide valuable insights into the ways in which religion and politics intersected in ancient Israel, shaping the beliefs and actions of the community. The conversation also explores the role of the Essenes, a Jewish sect believed to be responsible for the production of many of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Davis explains that the Essenes were characterized by their strict adherence to religious purity and communal living. Their beliefs and practices set them apart from other Jewish groups of the time, such as the Pharisees and Sadducees. Davis highlights the significance of the Essenes in the context of early Judaism, as they represent a distinct interpretation of Jewish law and tradition. The scrolls provide a glimpse into their worldview, including their apocalyptic beliefs and expectations of divine intervention. Understanding the Essenes and their writings is crucial for comprehending the diversity of thought within Judaism during the Second Temple period. Throughout the podcast, Davis emphasizes the importance of language in shaping religious belief and practice. He explains that the Hebrew language, with its unique structure and vocabulary, plays a central role in the expression of Jewish thought. The nuances of Hebrew can convey meanings that are often lost in translation, highlighting the significance of linguistic fidelity in understanding the texts. Davis also discusses the impact of language on the development of religious identity. The use of Hebrew in religious rituals and texts reinforces a sense of belonging and continuity within the Jewish community. As the language evolved and adapted over time, so too did the beliefs and practices associated with it. This dynamic relationship between language and belief underscores the complexity of religious identity in ancient Israel. As the podcast draws to a close, Davis reflects on the future of biblical scholarship and the ongoing challenges faced by scholars in the field. He emphasizes the need for interdisciplinary approaches that incorporate insights from archaeology, linguistics, and history to deepen our understanding of ancient texts. The study of the Dead Sea Scrolls, in particular, offers a wealth of material for scholars to explore, and new discoveries continue to shape our understanding of the past. Davis also expresses hope for a more nuanced and open-minded approach to the study of religion. He encourages scholars and laypeople alike to engage with the complexities of ancient texts without being constrained by dogma. By embracing the richness of the historical and cultural contexts in which these texts were produced, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the diverse expressions of faith that have shaped human history.